Goodness gracious. I I don't know if we are. Yeah, I guess I am live here now. Um because technology. Dung 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 technology. Dung 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 dung. That's what I see. Dung 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 dung. We're gonna share gratitude. Dung 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 dung. Lift that attitude. Welcome to Love Morning. I am Halcyon, and oh my gosh, look how I got my closet open. I am in disarray this morning. I am trying to pack and get ready to go on vacation. Going to see my beloved later today. Very excited. We've been apart 2 weeks, which is the longest we've been apart since we met. Oh, so I'm very excited. And so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I get to see Lisa today, and I'm grateful that there is air travel that's going to make the trip, you know, less than an hour and a half long up to Monterey and then to Big Sur and then to Bodega Bay. And grateful for my friend Steven, who's going to house sit for me and water my plants. And grateful that I'm pretty far along with Burning Man preparation. So, gonna get back from the trip and then have 1 week to charge before I'm on the road. And if you are here and you have something you're grateful for, would love to hear it. And also just say hello. Good morning, Brandy. Brandy's grateful for this day and the openness they feel today. Yay. I feel good too. I'm surprised. I was in a great mood this morning. I had a nice meditation from the Waking Up app, and I'm finding myself a little disheveled by this technology hiccup. It's difficult for me to know where I need to focus because I'm having to use the laptop camera. But you know what? I'm grateful that I've got multiple options so that one camera doesn't work, I can still use another. I'm grateful that I've got a system where I can still be live on YouTube and Facebook. And I think maybe when this trip is over, I will be focusing more on doing TikTok and Instagram. And I hope that you will join me in those places. But I will be doing here, I won't just leave without saying goodbye. And I'll probably do all together if I can to try to figure out how to get things working. Who knows? But I would love for you to help me figure it out. Good morning, Nick. Nick is also, I think, almost fully packed except for food for Burning Man. I'm grateful that I get to visit with a dear friend from high school and after high school. My friend Alan, I'm going to have brunch with him after this. He's in town. He's someone that we've started a company together. I was best man at his wedding, and I've known him for a very long time, since junior high. And very much looking forward to connecting and catching up. Grateful to have friends from that long ago. I have a number of my closest friends now are my friends I was friends with, when I was, before I could drive. Alan and Scott and Paul and Darren and Brandon and whoever else I'm blanking on in this moment. And my brother. So grateful to have old friends who are now old. I used to say, well, they're old friends, meaning I've known them a long time, but now they're old. Old like me. I'm grateful, again, that I got to thank Brian, has been helping out so much with First Saturdays. And he's 23, just graduated from college, and it was fun to realize how old I am compared to someone who is 23. He said he was born in the year 2000. I'm like, and the year 2000, like I remember the New Year's Eve 2000, I had a Czechoslovakia MDMA party, and was ringing in the new century in a naked cuddle puddle. No, actually, I was in a threesome, but at a party where there was a lot of nakedness and craziness. So at that point, man, I'd already gone to Burning Man. I had already been exploring psychedelics and sexuality and the internet, and so it blew me away to think that this is a person who was born into a world that was totally new and was not a part of my existence. He was born into a world with full broadband connection and smartphones. Like that just blew my mind to think about how different. It's kind of like my parents trying to explain to me, you know, getting their first TV. And you go, oh, wow, that must have been weird. But you can't really comprehend what it would be like to not have that kind of connection because we've always had TV. But imagine having a world where you were not exposed to that kind of marketing, you couldn't even see what's happening in other parts of the world. It's just given. And I feel like that's kind of how the perspective that I was having with my friend Brian here was like, he can nod along and go, yeah, that's so crazy that you were born before internet. It's like, it's like saying, oh, you were born before the color blue, but you can't comprehend of a world without blue. You just can't. Good morning, Janet. Janet, I'm grateful for you. Oops, I'm looking in the wrong place because of the tech problems. I'm grateful for you for thinking of me. There was a post from an organization that was giving away, what was it, thousands? A ton of pillows, hundreds of pillows. And Janet was curious if First Saturdays could use them. So I thank you for thinking of me. But most of the people we serve, pillows is not something that they're usually carrying around. A blanket, yes, but pillows is not something that we've often given away. But I was like, there was a time when Pink Heart was building and we were making our cuddle dome that we were acquiring pillows at a sickening rate. This year we're probably going to try to dispose of a huge number of pillows, and it's a bummer too because they're not just pillows; they're like pink stuffed animals, pink pillows. It's like we have the coolest collection of pink pillows. In the past, we've also acquired regular pillows, and then people make cool covers for them. And this year there's going to be no pink dome. It's funny, as I said that, deep in my bones was like resentment and anger towards the Burning Man organization. Like, it's their fault. If anybody who says, oh, why isn't the dome there? It's because Pink Heart has been moved back so far that we can't justify the amount of work that it takes to put up Pink Heart when we're just going to get a trickle of traffic. So we still want to do it. We still want to gift it, but and they also pressured us to have a smaller group. So we have half as many people. We're not building as much stuff. So the dome is taking a vacation indefinitely, which means these hundreds, maybe 1,000. I'd say probably many hundreds of pink pillows and pink stuffed animals is gonna find its way to probably a trash. What's it called? A dump place? Why can't I think of that word? The place dump trucks dump the trash. The trash resulting place. Landfill. There you go, brain. Just take a look. Just gotta go chugga. Good morning, Mingle. Good morning, Lorian. Lorian, I love your attentive curiosity about Burning Man stuff. I think that was you that was asking about, well, what does this mean when people say this? What does it mean when people say this? I love that. Neck is grateful for old and new friends. Yes, me too. Brandy is grateful for every memory that's coming up and even grateful for the pain that's coming with it. It's like a long overdue, much needed, energetic purge. I like that. Speaking of painful memories, I'm rewatching Game of Thrones right now. Oh boy, there are some storylines and episodes of that series that I just have like that were mentally scarring for me. Like I'm like, ooh, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. I do not want to watch that again. Too much torture. Good morning, Kiji Kiji. Pink Heart this year is at 9 and E. So Esplanade A, B, C, D, E. E. 5 streets back at 9 o'clock. And I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Good morning, Brent. You might notice a different angle from me today. I had some technical troubles, second day in a row, but totally different technical troubles. Today, both Facebook and YouTube are working, but my camera was not working, at least not for both. So I'm now on my laptop camera, so you can see a little bit up the nose. Not the best angle all the time, but you know, little break. I'm grateful that I'm tonight going to be leaving town. So grateful for a little vacation. You will not see me here tomorrow or for the next few days. I will not have connectivity in Big Sur and probably not for until middle of next week. Good morning, Faith. Faith's watching me on TV today. And is thankful for a snoring pug today. Love from Key West. Love to you, Faith. And hello to you from television. Janet is grateful for the Labianx course I'm taking right now. Brilliant for an inflection point. Not familiar with that at all. Very cool. But if you are finding it brilliant, that is high praise. Brandy says I need to dye my nose hairs pink. I'm not sure if that would be a good look. I did just this morning realize that I use like a pink conditioner every time I wash my hair because the pink dye just is not a chemical dye, so it just fades very quickly. And I realized, I'm going to be gone for over a week. I need to bring some pink conditioner. So I was bringing a jar. So I emptied it out of my pump that's too big to fly with to a little jar. Hopefully that'll be okay. And I wonder, like, they say you can't bring more than 3.5 ounces, right? Is that right? Can you have a jar that's 4 ounces that's half full? Or is it a container? It can't be more than 3.5 ounces. Thank you, Janet. I will check that out. Anyone else want to share any gratitude before we have a hug and head off into our day? I am grateful that the rumors are that Burning Man is not going to be as warm this year as it was last year, although I'm not sure how people will come to that conclusion. The forecast doesn't seem to be going out that far, and I don't think it can go out that far. But and right now it's been between 90 and 100. That's the forecast for the next 2 weeks. And 100 degrees in Gerlach is definitely plenty fucking hot. That's not like a cool year. So I'm not sure why, because I get excited. People are like, yeah, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be like the best year, and I'm like, All right. Well, let's see. We'll see if I get my jar taken from me at the checkpoint. Thank you, Lorian, for the travel info. Aaron, good morning. Aaron is grateful for friends who are the best and who always have my back. Thanks, Aaron. Good to see you. Good morning. Brandy is grateful for the time I'm spending with a good friend, a good reconnection to, I don't know, the world outside of my TV. Hallelujah to physical connections and connections beyond the screens. That is more and more important. And I'm realizing that so much of, or too much of my, like, I connect and ground with screens. I was listening to like a Sunday service this weekend that Lisa and a friend of hers were leading, and the other woman was talking about her morning practice of going out into nature and barefoot and grounding and singing to the trees and just connecting. And she's a person who has written just many, many, many beautiful songs. And as I was listening to this practice of hers of connecting and connecting her energy to the earth on a daily basis, I was like, I think my version of that is connecting to all my social media and the people that I'm connected to through this broadcast and comments, and while this is a cool connection, an awesome connection, that it, that maybe it shouldn't take the place of connection to the natural world. So I'm going to be thinking about that, and hopefully while I'm offline the next few days, trying to connect to nature a little bit more. Good morning, Natasha. Natasha is grateful I had a chance to take my kiddo to the Barbie movie this weekend. I saw that you didn't. Did you say you ended up buying some pink pants just for it? And be able to work from home as she came up sick this morning. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I love the Barbie movie, and I love that it is so popular. And I am Knuff. Oh, what did I see? I saw someone in a bootleg version of Barbie, the I Am Knuff. It was the Spanish version of it was, oh darn it, no, I can't remember it. It was I assure you it's funny. Good morning, Kiri. Good morning, Shinchan. My opinion on red pill. I don't know. I'm not. That's not part of my worldview. Um, Kiri is grateful for the amount of work I've been able to do on my new space this morning. I'm amazed how much space I have now, and it feels expansive and nourishing. Yay! I love hearing that. And if anyone is here and wants to share some gratitude, would love to hear what you are grateful for. I'm grateful that I have this backup camera, so I can try to use this. And if you notice me like looking around, trying to figure out where I'm supposed to look, it's because this is a different way of broadcasting than normal. Soy sufficient Ken. Yes, that was it. That was it. Thank you, Natasha. The Spanish translation of I am Knuff was soy sufficient Ken. Good morning, Scary Mac. Scary Mac says, I have that coming in the mail. It's the hoodie that Ryan is wearing. I am Knuff, and I can't wait to get it. I knew as soon as I saw it on the screen, I'm like, oh, that's going to be a thing. That is going to be a thing. In fact, I'd done a number of Instagram stories where that was my hashtag. All right, and then the last little bit of gratitude for this day to share with one another. This beautiful, I was doing a loving kindness meditation today, and what is the word that means sympathetic joy? It's boy, I don't know if this one's going to come to me. There's a word that means, it's part of the loving kindness process of, but when you find joy from others' joy. And I think that is part of group gratitude sharing, is that you expand your awareness that you can find sympathetic joy through what other people share, through other people's perspectives, other people's lived experiences, which is a big difference. Lived experiences is different than information or screen stuff. You know, there was a question about red pill, which I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, but that is generally that's a internet based. I'm thinking if it's what I think it is, internet based ideas. And this mudita, I believe that's it. Thank you, Natasha. Man, on fire today. You're like a walking Google. And I think it's a really good thing to continually tune in and saying, am I feeling something based on a lived experience or something based on something I'm reading or watching? And if it's something reading or watching, like how connected to a lived experience is that? You know, you and I may not have met in person, but we have probably built up a level of connection. So if I share something about my lived experience, you can feel a little bit of the lived experience through me, which is different than some commercial, someone saying, "Oh, this product soothed all my rashes." You know, you're like, maybe. I mean, that's the checking that we need to do. It's like, is this someone's lived experience or is this messaging of some sort? What's the motivation of this messaging? And merely sharing a lived experience, there's no motivation except to expand our connection to one another. And if you understand that there is sympathetic joy from that, there is mudita from that, then that's the motivation. And if you can understand that's the reason to share is to share the human experience, to magnify the joy of being a human being and alive through the experiences of others, then you can go, okay, cool. I can legitimately feel this and not risk that I am being manipulated or I am being, yeah, I guess that's it. Well, I am feeling neck deep in mudita right now. And I am Kenough. And I am soy sufficienken. And I am super glad to be sharing this Tuesday morning. Yes, Tuesday morning with you. And if you're watching this recording, I'm glad that we can connect to this whenever you're watching this. And I'm going to be heading off out of town tonight, so I won't be here tomorrow. But believe me, I will be grateful, and I will be collecting things that I'm grateful for to share with you when I see you next. One other thing I want to share, if you're still here with me, is just going to share a little thing that Lisa and I have been doing that I'm grateful for. Is when we were in Big Sur for our last trip, 2.5 weeks ago, before we left this beautiful home that was on the cliffs, we recorded like 7 or 8 clips, just like between 8 and 20 seconds, just saying, remember how we feel right now, and like looking in the camera and saying a little love messages to one another, or looking at the environment and each other's faces. And so we had these like little clips that I could send her each day so that we would not get too far from that feeling of being together. So although it's funny, when I was kind of in my little funk a few days ago, I forgot to send them. I was like so out of sorts that I forgot that I even had tools to feel better around me. Ain't that the way? Ain't that how it works sometimes? Thank you, Scary. I will definitely be having a good trip, and I hope you have a good few days and weekend, and I will see you next week. And wherever you are in this moment, would you join me for a hug? So wherever you are, give yourself a big squeeze. Feel yourself being held and holding all of us, sink into that place of shared humanity, this recognition that we're all doing the best we can. The world would rather hug you than hurt you. There's so much more alike than we are different. As we take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and you, thanks for being here for this gratitude gathering, this love morning, and this Hug Nation hoedown. Love you. Love you, Mingle. Love you, everyone. Thank you for being here. See you, Lorian. Bye, Scary and Brandy. Bye, Natasha. I don't know why my voice went there, but I love you.